So today we are going to be talking about the topic of celibacy, being celibate, and bringing up the conversation of celibacy and kind of how do you work this, how do you navigate this in 2019-ish, okay? Because this is the time that it is currently. So how do you navigate this conversation of being celibate? All right, so let's talk about it. How do we navigate this conversation of being celibate? So, a little bit about me, guys. Throughout my whole dating life, I've had to navigate this conversation. So I pray that what I share with you will encourage you and inspire you. If you guys don't know about my story, I have a testimony of sexual purity. I've been abstinent my whole life, all right? So, it's none of my doing. It's all of God's doing. So He gives me the strength, the power, and staying close to Him and not following a lot of beer gang pics. It keeps me strong in Christ, right? And strong in my resolve to stay celibate. So with that being said, how do we navigate this conversation of being celibate? First of all, guys, I want you guys to understand that there are men out there who are willing to wait for you. Everybody is going to tell you that there are no men out there that are willing to wait. That there are no men out there who will value you, that there are no men out there who will remain celibate. It's lies. They will. You know, especially if they like you, if they see a future with you, they will remain celibate. You know, there's too many testimonies. If you guys need additional encouragement, you can look at different couples on YouTube who have also remained celibate. And they're married now, and look at their testimonies, and that encourages you too. So that's something that I do as well. I look at their testimonies, I stay encouraged with that as well. You're just literally Googling purity rings when you're like, but praise God. You know I sell purity rings too. So check that out at the link in my bio. But so it's important, guys. So when you're bringing up this topic of celibacy, so you say you get asked on a date, right? And the guy asks you out on a date. When you're bringing up this topic of celibacy, my recommendation is that a lot of times, like I said, we try to lead with, oh, I'm celibate, don't even try it, da 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 da. I feel that it's best that you get to know him as a person and then let it come up naturally in the conversation. I know we don't want to be tested. I know we feel like if he's a man of God, he probably wouldn't even do that. So here's what I've learned throughout my journey, you guys, is that men, even the most respectful men, even the men who love Christ, they may try you. And so you have to, on the other hand, be ready with a response, ready with what you're going to say. Remember, I said in my mentorship group, I'm going to teach you guys all the scripting and how to navigate it properly. But you need to know what you're going to say, and you already need to have the resolve in your head that no matter how fine this man is and how full his beard is, I'm going to resolve to stay celibate. I'm going to resolve. And so the first thing when it comes to navigating the topic of celibacy is that you already got to have your mind made up. One, I'm going to be celibate. Like, I'm making this commitment to God. And let me tell you how slick the enemy is, you guys. Like, even for me in my personal life, like, I get approached with men who are just like, you're so this, you're so that, you're so desirable in this way, you know? And for me, the temptation is there. It is always there. But it's like, as soon as that comes up, I already have my response. I already have what I'm going to say. I already know my decision is to abstain. And so the first thing is to make up your mind, you guys. So when we're talking about being celibate, make up your mind that you want to be celibate. Make up your mind that this is what you're doing. And then number two, you guys, make up your mind that that when the conversation comes up, you don't have to treat the man as if he is the worst person on earth because he tried to cross your boundaries. You know, as if he's the worst person on earth, because we've all sinned, we've all fallen short, we've all made mistakes. So I think that sometimes as good Christian women, Christian girls, we just think like, oh, he would never do that even in the first place. But if he does, you guys, there's a way to respond gracefully and still yet keep the conversation intact. So knowing how to navigate that conversation without being like, you know, how dare you? You know, how could you? You know, you're not this, that, and the third. He may be a man who fell into a moment of temptation. You in your Fashion Nova just look so amazing. So you have to know, you guys, we really gotta keep that in check, you know, stay modest, right? But you have to know how to navigate it in a way where you, hey sis, hey Victoria, where you can respond gracefully and tactfully. Remember, yesterday I was talking about how within the mentorship group that I'm going to be releasing, we're going to be talking about all the ways that you need to navigate the conversation so that you can do it gracefully. You can even add some humor in it, and you can still do it tactfully while, you know, giving this man a chance to do it right. I feel like a lot of times what we do is that, oh, you automatically came at me wrong, you're cut off. You know what I mean? Oh, you automatically said this, you're cut off. But the thing of the matter is, you guys, is that even once you get deeper into a relationship, even once you get deeper into a marriage, sometimes they're going to do the wrong thing. Sometimes they're going to say the wrong thing. But as long as they come back and fix it, as long as they don't continue to pressure you, as long as they try to fix their mistake or they're quick to apologize about it, that's something that you could say, okay, let's move forward and let's go on from there. Honestly, it is normal for them. And I think that some women will reject this, but those that are wife-minded and those that know that even they themselves aren't perfect, you're going to accept it. So, psychologically, men are, hold on one second. Psychologically, what did she say? Men are turned on by what they see. Exactly. And so you have to know already, okay, they're gonna, if they came at me inappropriately, this is how I'm going to handle it. This is how I'm going to script it. That's why I say you got to have it in your mind. What's your script going to be? What are you going to be saying? And how can you do it in a way that gives him another chance? Because honestly, I've been there, and I know maybe even some of you have been there, where you automatically pop off, and something that could have been a guy who had a mistake moment. You know, he could have been a good guy otherwise, and he would have tried to fix it or change it, but you automatically, date's over. You said I look fine in my dress. Date over. Like, you said I looked thick in my dress and I look sexy. Date over. Y'all, calm down. And this is from a virgin. Calm down. All right? So knowing how to navigate with wisdom, knowing that sometimes, you know, they will test, they will try, right? And also, like I said, having the script. So that's it about celibacy, making it up in your mind, having the conversation with them, you guys. And then also, like someone said on here as well, they have a purity ring. If you guys don't know, I sell purity rings. If you want to know more about that, DM me. I don't have mine on right now, but I normally do have it on. But it's a great conversation starter if you're more so shy about your abstinence journey. And you can wear it. I usually put it on the other finger on this hand. But your purity ring, it's a great way for him to even say, hey, what's that about? Or I always see you wearing that. So sometimes you don't even have to bring that up. He'll just ask about it, and then it'll be a great conversation starter as well. So that's also another way, all right? But so basically with celibacy and with dating, you guys, that's what I kind of wanted to tell you. Yes, you will be tempted. Yes, you will be tried. Yes, even the most godliest of men will sometimes tempt or try, but it's up to you. Abstinence is the best policy, but it's up to you as the woman in the relationship to set the standard. And I know that a lot of us are saying, well, why isn't the man setting the standard? Shouldn't he be setting the standard? Shouldn't he? You guys, listen to this. This is one of my favorite characters in the Bible, David, King David. Man after God's own heart. God labeled him that. He had a problem with lust. He had a problem with wanting what he saw. He had such a problem that he saw this woman on a rooftop, didn't stop looking at her, and killed her husband so that he could have her, right? So even men of God will sometimes have problems with lust. Justifying it? No. Letting you know what it is? Yes. As women, it's our job to set the standard, and as far as the purity goes, and make sure that we keep the standard. We set that tone. You know, if he says, you know, XYZ, and then you're like going along with it, you guys are both gonna fall. You know, yes, he should be a protector of your purity, but you have responsibility as well if for some reason he has a weak moment. I love the thought of a purity ring, but my friends would make jokes out of that, and my family. Well, Chelsea, I mean, at some point, I totally hear you. But at some point, I went through that too. Also, actually, as far as like the purity rings, and like, oh, my family, like, y'all, they made fun of me so bad. I remember one holiday season, I was so embarrassed, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm still single, and on top of it, like, I have this purity ring, and they're like, why are you staying a virgin? And you know, all this stuff, right? All this pressure comes with being pure. Are you, you know, really pure? Like, all this stuff. But at some point, I just stopped caring about it. And you know what eventually they started doing? Now they started congratulating me on all the success of the single woman suite, all the success of me walking in purity, all the success of that. Now they're looking for my lives. They're following me on Instagram. They admire my lifestyle and as far as the woman of God I've become. So at some point, you just stop caring and you just figure out, like, I'm going to be misunderstood. That's just... You know, you're just going to be misunderstood, but it's okay. Like, I just don't, you get, as you grow and as you just mature in God and your walk with Christ and just this walk of purity, you just like, I don't even care. You only care what God thinks, not what your family. Yeah, you just get to a point you just don't even care. Yeah, you just don't care. I'm convinced I'm going to be misunderstood a lot, especially with this purity walk, but it's okay. Yeah, you should court with a marriage date. And, well, I don't know. I don't believe as far as the comments say court with a marriage date in mind. I kind of teach a little bit differently, but I think you should court marriage minded. So, you know, having a mindset that's leading towards marriage, you know? So yes, guys. So as far as me being still on Periscope, nope, I'm not on Periscope. But I just wanted to encourage you guys. I don't know why this just went up like that. I want to encourage you to really walk with Christ and really be unashamed about it, you guys. But like I said, what we're going to be talking about in the mentorship group is when to bring it up and how to bring it out and how to have your script. The way that you talk to a man when the topic of celibacy comes up is either going to draw him closer to you, which I always talk about, or you're going to break the relationship right there. Okay? So you've got to figure out how to bring up the topic in a way, or you've got to learn how to bring it up in a way that will bring him closer. And also a way, guys, that's not so serious. A lot of times we make things super serious. You can, you know, say it in a way where it's not as heavy as what we make it to be. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say on the topic of celibacy. If you guys have questions, go ahead at this time. You could type it in. I would definitely say that my, usually though, guys, when you bring up the topic of like God being your basis and stuff like that, men respect that. And they respect you as a woman so much. I watch a lot of chick flicks. Christian Matthew, what do you think about this? I mean, can't we have a... You watch like you want a fairy tale ending? Yeah, why can't you have it? It may not happen in your timing. It may not happen in your timing. Like, I believe, like, I am going to get married. I believe it will happen in God's timing. I believe that it will work out the way it's supposed to, and he's going to be a wonderful, godly man. And if anybody says anything different, I don't agree. You know, I believe what I believe. You believe what you believe. But if you believe that it's possible, the Bible says to him who believes anything is possible. The Bible says, ask and you shall have. Like, if you want that, believe for that. You know, like I said, God's timing is not our timing. But if you keep believing, keep praying, keep trusting, and keep doing this work on yourself so that you're not repeating the same patterns, then it will come true. All right? So what other questions do you guys have? And thank you for that question. I appreciate that. But it's really like you've got to continue to stay in a place of faith. You got to continue to stay in a place where you don't compromise as well. You know? Getting text messages while I'm on here. So that's basically what I have to say on the topic of celibacy. Like I said, purity rings, get one. Connect with me for the Queens Rise Conference. I'll be teaching live. And then also my mentorship group, if you're interested in becoming a part of it, it's going to be a paid group for women who just really are marriage minded and are ready to come to another level in the way that they communicate with men, bring up topics of celibacy, text back and forth, and just really knowing how to navigate in a way that brings men or brings the man that God has for you closer when a man enters your life. What made me leave Periscope? Okay, Q&A time. I just feel like most of my audience for the most part is on Instagram. So that's what made me leave Periscope. So, like the video I did yesterday, it'll be edited and on YouTube. This one is going to be edited and on YouTube. I just feel like between Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, those are my 3 platforms. And I feel like when you spread too thin, then you aren't as effective as you could be. All right. So yeah, guys, just be careful of the influences. This is what I want to say about celibacy as well. Just be careful of the influences around you, because like the girl said, the young lady, the woman on here said, you know, my family will make fun of me. My friends will make fun of me. They won't understand it. At the end of the day, you guys, you just have to know, okay, this is who I am. I'm going to be misunderstood. Jesus, you understand. And when you get married to your husband and when you have not, this is what keeps me going, knowing that even the guys that I have passed on, knowing that, you know what, I'm so happy that I didn't give my body to any of them. You know, I'm so happy I didn't give myself to any of them. Like, you know, being from wherever point you are, if today's your first day of celibacy, then from this point forward, knowing that, okay, from this point forward, I'm going to be able to give my husband this gift of celibacy. He's going to love it, you guys. He's going to think that's so beautiful, even if today is your day 1. Right? My video from yesterday isn't up yet. It should be up later on today. But he's going to be so glad that you abstained and that you waited. And that, more importantly, God is going to be so glad that you abstained and that you waited. Like, I just feel like, okay, so when you wait to have sex, it's just such a peace, because it's like, I don't have to go to bed and like wonder if this man that I gave my body to is cheating on me, or, you know, just all of that turmoil. You know, I don't have to worry about it. I just feel so much peace, because I know, like, God is pleased. You know, he's pleased when we abstain, when we're celibate, when we trust him with this journey. Like, he's just pleased. So for me, the peace that comes with it is so worth the wait. It's so worth the wait. I mean, because for me, like, especially like pre this work, it was just like, even just for like, you know, I haven't heard from him in X amount of days would be like, ugh, I can imagine like giving my body and then not hearing from him in X amount of days, X amount of weeks. You know what I mean? So from a mental health and peace perspective, being celibate for me is the only way. And being just, you know, when he cuts ties, when I cut ties, it's over. There's no spiritual soul ties involved. There's no having to worry about what he's doing. He can go. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't have these memories in my head about the guy that I dated. You know? And I've had, like I said, I've had tons of opportunities. But one time when I was an extra on a movie set, this was years ago, when I was extra on a movie set, the lead in the movie wanted me to come to his trailer. Asked for me to come to his trailer. And, you know, if I did not know God, that would have been an opportunity where I could have been like, ooh, I'm going to his trailer. You know what I mean? But it was that standard of celibacy and purity that it doesn't matter who you are. I love God too much. I love myself too much to compromise. So, at the root of it, guys, I think that it's just a deep commitment to Christ and a deep commitment to your own peace, that you're just like, nobody, no matter what level of influence, what level of fame, what level of money, what level of status that they have, nobody is coming in between that, between me and God and the peace that I have. You are so right. What happens if your Christian boyfriend doesn't set boundaries or respect yours? Is that a red flag straight away? I think that, and this is what I'm going to teach you guys with the scripting, you guys. There's a way to script so that you set your boundaries, but you still allow for him to lead. So you need to be able to set the boundaries in a way that's feminine, but you still allow for him to lead. So he may ask you, I'll share with you guys this point. You need to express what you are comfortable with. And as far as that being a red flag, I would have to know, I think that it's definitely something to watch for. I definitely feel and think that you need to have a conversation. But I even believe that even as you go further into dating or courtship, some of the most amazing couples on YouTube and amazing couples just period, they will admit that even throughout the courtship, they had moments. Did that mean that they didn't love Christ? No, that means that they had moments, and if they had not had those boundaries set into place and one of them was stronger than the other, they would have fallen. So I say a conversation needs to be had, Chelsea. A conversation needs to be had with him, and in a way where you're not dictating or telling him, but in a way where you're expressing what you want, what you don't want, what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with going forward. But yeah, it's something to be concerned about, especially if it's continuous pressure and he already knows where you stand. So this is the beautiful thing. Like, I honestly, maybe it's because of the way that I express my boundaries, but once I kind of like make it clear, there's not a whole lot of continuous pressure to keep having sex. All right? Did that help, Chelsea? You need to have a conversation. Give him a chance to fix it. And then from that point on, if he's not fixing it, that's a red flag. If you say, this is where I am, he needs to fix it. And honestly, I'm personally, I feel so disappointed, like when men say that they're Christian, but they still test your boundaries. But will they? More likely than not, yes. But set the boundary and then give them a chance to fix it. Even then, guys, y'all know I watched my parents' 30 plus years of marriage. I watched other people's years of marriage. Will people mess up? Reset the boundary, give them a chance to fix it. That's any relationship. I mean, and I think that we live in this fairy tale world as Christian with single women where sometimes we think that people aren't going to mess up. They're going to mess up, you guys. When is the right time to talk about boundaries in a relationship? that's something that you can be led. Hey, lovely Valerie. Hey, sis, hey. You're going to have to be led instinctively. I have a way that I teach it. Like I said, I'll teach that in a mentorship group. But I feel like you, like I said, you need to be led, which I know you already are, sis, by the Holy Spirit. But it's always best if he brings it up. I'm not with him anymore as he made me feel silly about having boundaries. Oh, no. So, okay. If you felt that it was a red flag, hey, sis, hey. Okay, so the way that you brought up the boundaries, it's so hard to do this because this is more like I would need to know more details. But if you brought up the boundaries, say for instance, okay, so he says, I'm going to put it out there. He's going to be like, he going to say, girl, you look good. Want you back the thing up? You're like, girl, ooh, he'll be like, I want you. So then you're going to be like, you need to tell him, what's your stance on it? Script it. Have it in your mind. So then after that, you explain it to him, the conversation's done, okay? After that, if he keeps being persistent about it, this isn't working. Like, we're clearly on 2 different pages. There's even a script for that, but we're on 2 different pages. This is not working. And express about how important your walk with Christ is. That's it. That's something that you need to cut, especially if you're uncomfortable. So you did the right thing. For example, he wanted to sleep in my bed when he stayed over, but not sleep on the sofa. And he made me feel so silly, he even suggested it. Okay, so right there, sis, I love you. He shouldn't be over your house. Okay? Just point blank, period. And I have a course that's called Celibate in the City that talks more about this. But some boundaries, we aren't talking about this. We're not sitting here having a conversation about it. This is from me. You asked for advice, right? No. He shouldn't be over your house. And the guys who can't respect that boundary, then that's their issues. That's not even, for me, that's not even a non-negotiable. Because the Bible says to avoid even the very appearance of evil. And I hope that this comes across in love, because this is where I'm coming from, a sisterly point of view. But if he's leaving your house, that already looks as if you guys have compromised, even if you haven't. So he shouldn't even be over your house. There is this guy that I was dating. He lived out of town and he wanted to come over my house. And I was just like, no. I don't feel good about that. You know? Because 1, it's the appearance. 2, I don't care if I am a virgin. I don't trust myself. 3, you're putting him in a fail situation because, and let me clear that up, I don't trust myself without Christ. And I don't trust myself in the human part of me to just be okay. There's this amazing guy who I'm attracted to. He has to shower in the morning. He's most likely going to need a towel. And he's going to be walking around with his ripped abs in my house. Okay? And then 3, on top of it, the reason why you don't let men in your house is that you're setting yourself up to fail, because he is going to want to be in your bed. He's going to want to. So now it's like it's a teasing situation. So you allowed him to come into your house, but you're saying that you're celibate. This has to be a game to him. This has got to be a game to him. He's like, this girl is playing games. She has me over her house, but she says she's celibate. But now she don't want me to be in her bed. That's what do you call it? I hope I'm not I don't know that name, but it's like when you're trying to give a man something that's inappropriate that happens when he keeps feeling like he's turned on and turned off. What is this? the boundaries must be clear. So maybe I'm not clear when I'm saying boundaries, because being in his house, being next to your bed, seeing your bedroom, even men that I FaceTime don't see my bedroom. I just have certain lines you just won't cross. Sending you pictures of me, sending you pictures of body parts. You're just not going to get there, sir. Like, so for me, that whole situation, and I really appreciate that it was clarified, that's setting him up for failure. I wouldn't take that seriously. If a guy invited me, okay, so if out there or whatever, and just like I wanted a man, and he told me he was celibate, but he said I could come over to his house. Then when I got over to his house, I would think that we were going to do something. Some lines as Christian women, we just shouldn't even have a conversation. It's okay. Like, I love you, girl. You're welcome. As Christian women, this stuff is just, it's not something that we should do. I told this guy that I like that we have to meet in public. And when I told him why, he respected and hasn't asked to come in at all. Yeah, like, guys, for real. Like, if you're going to be celibate, it's all the way. We're not cuddling. We're not Netflix and chilling. You're not in my house at all. I'm not coming to your house. You're not in my bed. I'm not in your bed. All right? I love you guys, but this is just what it is. Like, some things we just won't do. Do you think that guys have different views when it comes to dating single moms? This guy I met thought I would sleep with him just because I was a mom. And I was like, and if they do have a different view, you just express to them, like, your value. I feel like whether you're a single mom, just because you're a woman and you said you're celibate, you're celibate. Your status has nothing to do with his willingness to wait or not wait. He should wait. And you should just be like, and if he said that face, then you say that face right back to him, like, I'm waiting. Y'all, we be feisty and fiery at our jobs and everywhere else. Take that right to being celibate and your commitment to Christ. Like, no. This is what you say very gracefully when they want to sleep with you. You have already said no. Next. Because trust me, there will be a next. Next. Oh, I feel good that I released that. Done. All right, y'all. I hope that this helped y'all. If you're a daughter of the King, a man should respect that. Next. You're a woman. You love Christ. You're out here just pleasing God. I know too many. I just had one of my single sisters who was a mom just get engaged to a man who was waiting for her. Okay, you're welcome. I just had her. She just got engaged to somebody who was waiting on her. And she was in her 40s. So, I mean, it's too much. And I feel like we operate from lack. And I'm going to have to go because my phone is about to die soon. But we operate from this place of lack. Oh, there's this one guy. Oh, there's this one guy at church. Oh, there's only this one guy who just approached me this week. Y'all, it's an abundance of guys. You just need to trust God to send the right one. Don't have that mindset. And if he didn't work out, better is coming. I believe that. And when I say that all the time, every time, better comes. So that means better is going to keep coming until it comes to the one that I'm supposed to be with. All right? So know your value, know your worth. I pray this encouraged you. You're welcome. I love you guys so much. Turn your notifications on. If you want to join me, guys, if you haven't gotten your early bird ticket for the Queens of Rise conference and you want to do VIP, we're going to be talking more about this stuff at VIP, at the Queens of Rise conference. And even if you get general admission, it's 3 days totally. I'll be hosting. I'll be praying with you guys. You guys will be able to have conversations with me. Lovely Valerie was there last year. She was able to talk to me up close and personal. But I would love for you guys to come. If I get an invitation to speak in Scotland, I will come. I love you guys so much. But yeah, you can connect with Queens of Rise Conference. And then also, guys, I'll be having a mentorship group, like I said, for the tools, for the how to text, for the scripting, and for how to set your boundaries, you guys, in a way that still draws men closer. All right? So, I love you guys. And if you're on YouTube, I'm dropping all these links below. I'll talk to you later. Bye.